Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be discussing about variable description box and comments in a program. Wait a minute, is it necessary to write comments and variable description box for a program? Yeah, it is necessary. Because if you write some long programs, we may forget the use of particular variable or a use of the particular line. So here we are having an example of an Armstrong number. This is the program for the Armstrong number. Now, if I want to write the variable description box and comments for it, how will be writing it? We'll be discussing in this video. So let's get started. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe my channel and give a like to this video. Now, what are comments? Before seeing how to write the comments, we'll be discussing what are comments. Comments are the non-executable statements which are ignored by the compiler. It means that they are not recognized by the compiler while the execution of the program. So how to write them? If I write a backslash and a double backslash, here's the difference between them. This one is lightened and this one is darkened. Why is the difference? What is the difference in them? So this single one, it means division operator, and this double backslash means it is a comment. So see, if I compile this program, so it will give me an error, illegal start of statement. So I can't write division operator over here. I should be using a comment over here. So another backslash, so it becomes a comment. Now in this, if I want to write the comment for this line, so what would be the comment for this line? String s1 is equal to br read line. So the comment for this we can write as taking the input and storing it as a string. So we'll be writing over here, we'll be writing taking the input as a string. Similarly, we can write lot of comment in this. So we'll be writing the comment for the next line. Int n is equal to integer dot parse int of s1. Here we are converting the string. We'll be writing converting the string into int data type. Here we are converting the string which we have taken in s1 into int data type. So converting the string into int data type. If instead of int, it would have written as double n is equal to double dot parse of double of s1. So converting the string into double data type. Now for this line the comment should be int rem comma sum is equal to 0 comma n1 is equal to n. Here you can see that we are declaring the variables and them and initializing them too. So we'll be writing double slash declaring and initializing the variables. Here the declaration and initialization of the variable is done. Now the comment for this line would be testing the condition while n is greater than 0. So we will be writing testing condition. Okay. The comment for this line would be extracting each digit. As explained in the earlier programs, this line is used for extracting each digit from the number. If you have not watched the line by line explanation of all the number programs, you can access it from my playlist from the above given I button or in the description box. You can check it out. Here we will be writing extracting the digits from a number. Okay. Now comment for this line would be calculating the sum of the cubes of the digit. So calculating the sum of the cubes of the digits. Calculating the sum of the cubes of the digits. Here we'll be writing extracting the number. We'll be writing extracting the number. Now here we'll be writing again the same testing condition. We are checking that sum is double equal to n or not. So here we can write testing condition, and here we can give a comment as giving message to the user, and here also we can give a comment as giving message to the user to enter a number. So okay, we have written almost 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, almost 10 comments in this program. So you can see comments are easiest thing to write, taking the input as a string. So for system.out.println enter a number, we have written the comment as giving message to the user to enter the number. Then string s1 taking input as a string, then the next line we have written converting the string into int data type, then declaring and initializing the variable, testing condition, extracting the digits, then calculating the sum of the cubes of the digits, then extracting the number, testing the condition, and giving message to the user. So you can see giving comments is the easiest thing. When you're done with the program, just compile it. See, I'll be compiling it. See, you can see class compiled, no syntax errors. Now we'll be discussing about this was a thing for comments. Now we'll be discussing about variable description box. So we'll be making a table for it. We'll be opening Word. Now we'll be designing a table for it. Insert table. So for writing the variable description box, there is a rule. First you need to write the uh, variable name, then the data type, then description. Description means what's the use of the particular variable. So now in this program we are having the variables n, then rem, sum, and n1. So we'll be writing the names and write the name of the variables that are used same as in the program, n. Then next variable is rem. Remember to write the same name, sum, then n1. Now yes. So these are the variable names that are used in the program. Now we'll be writing the data type. This is an important thing. Make sure that you write. Okay, let's see. The data type of n is integer. We'll be not writing integer. It is actually int. Data type is int. So we'll be writing int. Make sure that you write I as small, not as capital. If for an example, if n was having the data type as double, so we'll be writing over here as double, double, and the d should be small, as in this program it is int, so we'll be writing as int. Rem is also int, and sum is also int, so int, and one is also int. So okay, variable names is done, data type is done. Now we'll be writing the description. Here we'll be writing what is the use of the description. What is the use of the variable? Sorry, what is the use of the variable? So the first variable is n. So what's the use of n? The use is we are storing the input of the number. So we'll be writing storing the number input by the user. So this is the description for the variable n, storing the number input by the user. Now similarly we have the variable as rem. What's rem is doing? Rem is extracting the digits, as you can see, extracting the digits. So we will be writing extracting the digits and storing it. Okay, sum, as the name suggests, storing the sum of the cubes of the digits, storing the sum of the digits, sum of the cubes of the digits, sum of the cubes of the digits. So okay, now n is done, rem is done, and sum is also done. Now the variable left is n1. What's the use of n1? As you can see in this program, after the execution of this loop, the value of n is 0. We can't compare 0 with sum. We can't compare sum with 0 because n is having the value 0, so there's no use of checking the condition. So we are storing the value of n in a temporary variable, that is n1. So we'll be writing temporary variable to store the value of n. So here we are done with our variable description table. We have written first the variable name, then data type, then description, and make sure that you use some meaningful names for the variables so that it will be easy for you to understand the program, and while writing the variable name you will be getting it more easier. So n is done, rem is done, sum is done, n1 is done. And in the data type, make sure that you write int as small, and if it is string, then capital S T R I N G. String is the only variable where we will be writing string. Or if it is a character, example, n is a character, so what will be writing? Character? No, we'll be writing char, CHAR, and make sure the C is small over here too. And now if there is a loop in it, for example here, while n is greater than 0, this is also a loop, but n is being used as the number, storing the number. If it is for I is equal to 0, so what's I? So we'll be writing I as int, and the description for I would be, if I write over here as yes, insert row below. If I write a variable name as I, then the data type is int. Then if I come to the description, what will the description for I? We can simply write as looping variable, because it is helping for the loop to execute, because it is not used anywhere else, so we'll be writing looping variable. Similarly, if we write it as C, sometimes we use the variable C, so C, then data type is int, then we'll be writing the description as counter variable, or counting the digits in a number. We can write anything, counter variable, or we'll be writing as counting the digits. Similarly, sometimes here C should be small. Now another, sometimes we use the variable as flag. So flag is also having some data type, it is also having some use, so we'll be writing flag. Make sure flag F is small, flag, then int. The description for this would be a conditional variable, because when the condition is true or when the condition is false, we'll be changing the values as we want. So we'll be writing as conditional variable. So as you can see, we have seen for I, we have seen for C, we have seen for flag, Make sure you write flag as f as small, here I as small. Okay, so this is the variable description box. These are the comments. Let us have a quick recap what you have learned. So comments are non-executable statements which are not recognized by the compiler. So these are the comments which you have written, and comments are used by double backslash, not a single slash. So okay, these are the comments, and then the variable table, variable description box table. Make sure you use some meaningful names. And so this is the variable table. I is for looping variable. If j is also there, then also you can write it as looping variable. C is the counter variable, or counting the digits in a number, counting the digits in a number, counting the digits in the number. Then flag is a conditional variable.